are strange times and very cold times, just looking at that weather report. And as that cold snap comes on every year, I realise that, more than ever, how lucky we are to have a home. But this year, we're not able to get together, but we've certainly chosen to press on with the event because people who are homeless, they don't have a choice to put their life on hold. And what it is doing, it's giving us the opportunity to emulate what the bulk of our homeless people are doing, and that is sleeping in spots that are fairly invisible normally. That might be in their own car or someone else's car or someone else's lounge or even in someone's backyard.
How has the event evolved over the past 15 years?
Well, in 2006, there was only a handful of CEOs. There was about 10 at Stadium Australia, and we had some entertainment. It was the rock band from Matthew Talbot Hostel, and we heard some stories from them, and that changed the way people think. So in the ensuing years, a small group of us pressed on, and it became more popular. So, there was about 20 people at the second event, maybe 40 at the third event, and then by year 4, there were 200 people in attendance because word had spread, and it really captured the imagination of people. I guess CEOs were sick and tired of attending another dinner for whatever the cause was, and this really gives them just a taste of what it might be like to be uncomfortable for just one night and then realise that, or imagine if that was night after night.
Because it's pretty easy just to get complacent, isn't it? I reflect on my upbringing in the 70s and 80s, and my father was with the St Vincent de Paul for decades and decades, and he'd always take one of us along to the visits, and these visits weren't necessarily in parts of Sydney where we grew up that you would expect. They were 2 streets away, or like people are a lot closer to you than you think.
Absolutely. It's spread throughout. Doesn't matter what suburb you're in, people can fall on tough times. And Vinnies, exactly the way that you described, volunteers go and visit those most in need and help out in whatever way they can. Now, that may be providing clothes or furniture, but sometimes it's cash to pay bills.
And where are we at with the funding and the money that we've raised through the Sleepout over the years?
This is the 15th year, and over those years it's raised around $50 million, which is just phenomenal. And as a measure of how it started, it raised about 5,000 in the first year, 40,000 in year 2 and 3, and then 620,000 in year 4, which was really that first year where it started to take off. It became a national event after that, and last year it raised around $6 million or more.
Did you find people starting to contact you after the first couple of years?
Yeah, look, the word spread, and to try and get an event like this off the ground, it's in my view, it's about consistency. Year 3 for me was the most difficult. Some of the support had sort of fallen away, but I was committed to doing that in year 3, even if it was smaller than the year before. But that consistency, it became a fixture for enough people. And we then garnered more support. Vinnie spent some money on the website, and that made it easy to do business with the event in the sense that easy to register, easy to sponsor, easy to spread the word. And the word has continued to spread since then. But we need key influencers. There's lots of CEOs from mid-sized companies. We've had great CEOs from big companies in the past, but we really are reaching out this year to say, look, CEOs have got no excuse this year. We're not asking them to head anywhere in particular except to their own balcony or backyard.
But people talk about the miscalculation in the billions of dollars with the JobKeeper scheme, but to be honest, still there's a lot of Australians that have slipped through the cracks. There's no time like now where it's needed more. What's it going to look like?
The event itself, CEOs can register now at ceosleepout.org.au. They can choose their sleeping position on the night. They can bed down there. They can tune into a live stream that we'll be doing. And for the first time, that'll be a national live stream. So in a sense, this opportunity that's not allowing us to come together is allowing us to come together nationally. And then we'd be encouraging CEOs to stay in contact with their own followers on and their own community through social media to raise funds. In addition to funds this year, we're reaching out for people to commit to Vinnies hours where they can commit to help Vinnies, because as you've said, there's lots of people doing it tough, but some of those who've got no cash want to help.
Absolutely. And finally, people watching our program this morning that want to help out, how can they reach out and help Vinnies?
Well, the key thing is go to ceosleepout.org.au. If you're a business and community leader, register. If you're not, maybe dob in your boss and encourage them to do it.
Good one.
And you can just donate directly at that site. All the money goes straight to Vinnies.
Good on you, Bernie. Good to talk to you.
Thanks, Tim.